Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is crazy, 2 videos in a day. Who would have thought? I thought I'd do a video quickly because I'm just reading. I thought it was interesting. Ross Lyon was on SEN earlier today, and he kind of talked about our game plan, or what our game plan will be under him and under the new coaches moving forward in 2023. So I thought I'd just share it with you if you haven't read it or heard about it, and we can chat about it. He said, we're training it. I stuck to my word. I threw the whiteboard to the coaches and said, you guys come up with what you think, and then we'll just fine tune it together. To be honest, I thought there might have been an 80-20. They do 80%, but Corey Enright has been really impressive on the team defense side. Lenny Hayes on stoppages, Robert Harvey on the ball use. I've hardly tweaked anything. I really liked what they've come up with. We were a stoppage-dependent team. We want to improve our turnover use because you can't live on stoppage. I've coached teams reliant on stoppage before, and it's too easy to negate in the big games. We like to be a go-forward team, use our run, be a pressure team. I've never coached perfection. We like a bit of chaos. I think it will suit us, so I'm pretty excited about it. We've been 12th and 12th for a reason. We're realistic. In the short term, we want to improve as quick as we can. I think there's room for development on the list. There you go. So key takeout was that he doesn't want to be a stoppage-reliant team. He wants to be a go-forward team, use run, and be a pressure team, and be a bit more efficient with our ball use on the turnover when we create a turnover, which I think is great because when you look at some of the stats from the Saints this year under Brett Ratton, we were first for kicks per game, but 15th for inside 50s. So we're getting a lot of the ball, doing shit all with it. So if he wants to be a go-forward team, we have no problem getting the ball and getting the most kicks in the competition. We do have a problem moving it forward. 15th for points per game, 15th for inside 50s, 15th for goal assists, 14th for clearances. But he says stoppages. We don't want to be a stoppage-reliant team. And he's got a fair point. When you look at a lot of the games that we won this year, particularly early, like the Geelong game, Richmond game, where momentum completely shifted, it was simply just a matter of us getting a foothold in the middle of the ground for a period of time. You know, it took us 10, 15 minutes like that, and we kicked 6 or 7 goals. But the second that's taken away from us, we didn't do enough to generate any sort of turnovers from the back half, from pressure in the midfield, because our midfield was pretty light on in terms of pressure for a lot of games this year. And that would fall apart around us, and then you'd see the other team get a lot of momentum and be able to sustain it for a lot longer of a period in the game, and that was enough to win the game. So I like that he's made that point. I think it's really valid. And the fact that he's got guys like Corey Enright that are able to kind of work on specific aspects of the game plan is great, like Corey Enright, team defense side, Lenny Hayes on stoppages, perfect, and Robert Harvey on the ball use, which is critical. So Robert Harvey handling ball use is going to be great for us because going inside 50, he was one of the best. Chip it 15, 20 metres out in front of the forward would always mark it, and the defender had no chance because Robert Harvey would be able to put the ball exactly where a forward would want, and we haven't done that in 10 years. So handling ball use for Robert Harvey is awesome. We need help in that area. And I think once that's fixed, a lot of our attacking stats will improve because we just didn't know how to score this year. And I think that's a big focus for Ross and the team. We want to be a go-forward team. We want to put as much pressure on the opposition in their defense as quickly as we can. There's no point chipping it around and allowing teams to set up. And I think that's another thing that Ross was alluding to, is that teams are very good at setting up behind the ball when you give them time. And the best teams do that. Geelong, Melbourne, Brisbane, these teams, if you give them a sniff of time, they'll set up and you can't score. And we found that against Melbourne in the first half when we played them this year. In the second half, we played fast. We put them under pressure, and the game changed a little bit. We got scoreboard pressure going. The first half, we came out tentatively, chipped it around, went sideways, tried to be a possession-based team, which we weren't, and we turned the ball over, and it sucked. So I think it's a really good summary from Ross. Obviously, it doesn't give too much away, but we want to be a go-forward team. We don't want to be stoppage-reliant, and we want to get better at ball use. And I guess that those are kind of generic terms. You know, most teams will want to do that. But the fact that he said that from the start, that we want to use our run, and he's stated that we're not necessarily a fast team, leg speed-wise, but we have a lot of good endurance runners, and we want to be able to use the ball well quickly. So this might be a very different Ross Lyon style that we're used to. A lot of people were worried that he was going to come back and make us a very defensive unit. From what he said today, it's not going to happen. He wants us to improve our turnover use, hurt teams when they stuff up, and be efficient going forward quickly. So we might be in for a lot of slingshot footy next year under Ross Lyon, which is a sentence I never thought I'd be saying. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of the game plan. I'm really excited for it. I think he summarized it really well without giving too much away. And that kind of shuts up anyone that thinks he's going to come and implement a game plan from 10 years ago when we made grand finals and expect the same results. So to those people, there you go. He wants to play fast, he wants a bit of run, and he wants better ball use and to be a pressure team, but not rely on pressure or stoppages. That's just kind of a byproduct of everything else. So I'll leave it there, guys. A little bit of a summary for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you have a great weekend as well. And I'll be back next week for some more Saints TV content. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.